Other details are in as authorities say they've come across another human remain in the same rural area where nearly 8 other women's bones were discovered. Nash County authorities are looking for a man on their top 10 most wanted list, and a 20-year-old man is behind bars today for being sexually involved with a young teen in Rocky Mount. We'll have the latest in our crime report. And a newly elected representative to North Carolina's House is sworn in. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is Newsbreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in to WHIG-TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. Families of 2 women who've gone missing in Rocky Mount await to hear further word after authorities say they've come across another human remain in the same rural area where nearly 8 other women's bones were discovered. The remains could make number 9, investigated by Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office and thought to be victims of a serial killer. Many of the 8 women who've all been identified over the past 5 years were said to fit a similar description, with histories of drug abuse and prostitution. The latest discovery was first reported to the sheriff's office Monday evening when a hunter said he was looking for deer antlers but instead found the human bones in some woods off Battleboro-Leggett Road near Spites Chapel Road. This week, the State Bureau of Investigations and the Medical Examiner's Office are helping the sheriff's office further gather evidence. Wednesday, we spoke to Sheriff James Knight, who said the identity of the latest remains is still being looked at by the Medical Examiner's Office, and typically results are in within a week's time, but that's a rough estimate. He says this discovery seems similar to the past findings. Last April, the National Guard was sent in to canvass the area where the other 8 bodies were found. Sheriff Knight told us yesterday that the latest discovery was outside of that canvass area. Antoine Maurice Pittman, who's been charged only for the murder of Tara Nicholson, is still awaiting to be tried as more evidence from his attorneys as well as the state is being evaluated and turned up. He is also being looked at as a suspect in the other murder cases. As of now, the 2 women still being sought are 37-year-old Yolanda Lancaster, who's been missing since March 2009, and 49-year-old Joyce Durham, who's been missing since 2007. Local authorities are offering a $20,000 reward for information related to the murders and disappearances of these women. You're urged to contact Crime Stoppers at 252-977-1111 if you know anything about these incidences. Rocky Mount police say a local teen has gone missing. They say 16-year-old Nilja Michaela McQueen went missing from her grandparents' residence on 1016 Shepherd Drive on December 30th around 5 p.m. It's believed Nilja may be in the Rocky Mount area, but she has not contacted her family. She is described as a black female standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 125 pounds with a medium build, reddish-brown hair, brown eyes, and medium complexion. Nilja is also being considered as a possible runaway. She has been entered into the National Crime Information Center as a missing person. Also missing is a 47-year-old local man, Howard Oliver Jr., who was reported missing by his daughter last Thursday, was last seen on November 30th on 336 Eastern Avenue in Rocky Mount, but last spoke to his family on December 3rd over the telephone. His family thinks he may have voluntarily left to be in the Raleigh area. He's described as a black male standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing 200 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes, and a dark complexion. Oliver has also been entered into the NCIC as a missing person. Local authorities are hunting a man on their top 10 most wanted list. Nash County Sheriff's Office says 41-year-old James Revelle, whose last known address is in Northampton County, is wanted for first-degree kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, and communicating threats. He's described as an Indian male, standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing 260 pounds. He has brown eyes and black hair. If you know his whereabouts, you're asked to call Nash County Sheriff's Office at 252-459-4121. You can remain anonymous. Rocky Mount police say a 20-year-old man is behind bars today for being sexually involved with a young teen. Tuesday morning, police arrested and charged Michael Quandale Cooper of Kingston Avenue. According to the police report, Cooper is being charged with statutory rape and 2 counts of disseminating pornographic material to a minor over a cell phone. The girl is 13 years old. Police say Cooper was issued a $75,000 secured bond and was transported to Nash County Jail. And in Edgecombe County, recently an alleged mother and son drug team were brought down. Edgecombe County Sheriff's Narcotics Task Force arrested the Macclesville mother and son Friday for drug-related offenses after searching their home. The mother, 57-year-old Annie Doris Clark, was charged with trafficking in opiate, possession of opiates with the intent to sell and deliver, maintaining a dwelling for the storage of drugs, and was also cited for violating her parole. Her son, 25-year-old Milton Winstead, was charged with simple possession of marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia. Clark was jailed in Edgecombe County under a $75,000 secured bond, while her son received a $5,000 secured bond. Authorities say community complaints of drug activity instigated the search of the home at the 1100 block of Stallings Road. When we return on WHIG TV News Break, the rezoning of land hoped to be used to build a chicken processing plant in Nash County will again be up for more discussion and perhaps more rezoning. This story and more right after these words.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
WHIG, your community station, is bringing you news that's impacting our area. If you see breaking news or have an event you'd like us to cover, make sure you contact us at 252-885-1814 or email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com. WHIG TV News Break, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. Officials in Nash County say they will repeat an industrial rezoning process administered last November to a site being sought by poultry producer Sanderson Farms. Tuesday, Nash County Planning Director Rosemary Dorsey said the matter could be considered by the Nash County Planning Board as early as March. On November 1st, the 150-acre, mostly residential area located near the interchange of NC 97 and Interstate 95 was voted to be rezoned for industrial use. The decision to again look at rezoning may come as opponents of the plant have filed a lawsuit against Nash County for allegedly not following its ordinance during the rezoning process in November. Nash County's planning department is also recommending several additional changes and to the land, as well as to reevaluating the ordinance and land development plan. This week, a newly elected representative was sworn in. Monday, Representative Jeff Collins was sworn in by North Carolina Court of Appeals Judge Anne Marie Calabria at the Nash County Courthouse, his wife holding the Bible for him. A supporter videoed the event and sent it in to us. Here's a look.
Solemnly and sincerely swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
to bear true allegiance
to bear true allegiance
to the state of North Carolina
to the state of North Carolina
and to the constitutional powers
and to the constitutional powers
and authorities which are or may be established
for
the government
thereof,
that I will endeavor to support,
maintain,
and defend
the Constitution of said state,
not
inconsistent with
the Constitution of the United States,
to the best of my knowledge and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Jeffrey Collins,
I, Jeffrey Collins,
do
swear
that I will well
and truly execute the duties
of the office of a member of the House of Representatives according to the best of my skill and ability according to the law,
so help me God. Thank you.
Collins defeated incumbent Randy Stewart for the District 25 seat in the NC House of Representatives back on November 2nd. Collins thanked those who supported him. The North Carolina House will convene on January 26. Also this week, a delightful surprise as Nashville's interim Fire Chief David English was given the Order of the Longleaf Pine Award. This award is the highest honor bestowed on a North Carolinian and is awarded to individuals who have a proven record of extraordinary service to the state. English has spent more than 3 decades in the fire services, both volunteer and career. To his surprise, English, who is a Red Oak resident, received the award during a volunteer meeting at the fire department in Nashville. He says that he's very humbled by it. And now it's time for our Pet of the Week.
This is Tinkerbell and this is Bean, and they are both Boston Terriers. And we wanted to bring these guys on to show you what you can actually find at your local shelter. We found Tinky was actually at Nash County Animal Shelter in Nashville. So this just goes to show you what kind of awesome little dogs you can find there if you just go and look.
Okay, tell us what type of dogs they are.
They are Boston Terriers. Bean is a boy and Tink is a girl, and you can see there's a big size difference there. So Boston Terriers come in all different sizes. He's a big one, she's a little one.
Well, tell us a little bit of the misconception people have about shelter dogs.
People think that there are only mixed breeds at the shelter, that there are dogs with too many issues at the shelter. You can get plenty of purebred dogs at the shelter. There are plenty there, and mixed breed dogs make great dogs too. So don't ever rule out a mixed breed dog. But yeah, they are so well behaved. They're dogs. Tink was actually already house trained, so that was something we didn't even have to do. So you just really never know what you'll find there. You just have to go look.
And how do these dogs, I guess, in your opinion, end up at shelters?
Well, a lot of different ways. This one, Tinky had actually somehow gotten out of her home and was wandering down the street, and the shelter people picked her up, and no one ever claimed her. So she was there for 72 hours. A lot of times some animals are surrendered because their families can no longer afford to take care of them, or they have to move somewhere where they can't take animals. And then there are a lot of people that don't spay and neuter their pets, so they end up with litters over and over and over again that end up at the shelter. So if people would just spay or neuter their pet, then it'll eliminate a lot of problems.
All right. And whose babies are these?
They are my babies. They are both my babies. Bean was, I adopted him from Boston Terrier Rescue of North Carolina. His family actually had to move out of state because one of the family members lost their job and they had to move somewhere where they couldn't take him.
Thank you, ladies. After the break, we'll have the latest in sports with Edward Green, and Fred is in with our weather. Stay with us.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
WHIG, your community station, is bringing you news that's impacting our area. If you see breaking news or have an event you'd like us to cover, make sure you contact us at 252-885-1814 or email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com. WHIG TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now here's a look at the days ahead and weather with Fred Holdsworth. Fred?
And hello everyone. Time to take a look at our forecast for the afternoon hours, and we'll go right to our forecast map and let's see what's going to be coming around later on today. And the first thing we notice is high pressure down here over the deep south, and this is going to give them a fair day, and us too, as that high pressure extends on to the Atlantic coast, from the Atlantic all the way really over to another cell, which is over the Four Corners region. This will give a sunny day, although it will be on the cool side even down in the Gulf states today. We'll see temperatures in the upper 30s for highs, and as we go on into the night, temperatures will be very cold with a low down in the upper teens. But we do see a warm-up coming, and that will take place starting tomorrow, but it will be a very gradual one. As we go up to the north, we'll see snow all the way down into West Virginia. The ski resorts are going to love that. They're getting a good snow this season. This has been a very good snow season for the ski resorts in the Appalachians. And also stretching up into Canada, snow all across the Great Lakes and up into the New England states. They're starting to dig out now from a blizzard, which gave them up to 25 to 30 inches of snow in some places. A blizzard occurred along the Massachusetts coast yesterday, and a winter storm all the way from northern Virginia on up into the state of Maine. Snow is occurring across the northern region, and a lot of that is in response to this low pressure system over North Dakota, a cold front dipping down from Montana. This will be moving slowly southward. Snow also in the upper Rockies, and heavy snow is forecast in some of the areas in Montana, Idaho, and Washington State. Rain is going to be occurring at the lower elevations, and that will be mixing with snow at times in northern Nevada, eastern Oregon, and southwestern Idaho. And it will be mainly rain along the California coast on up into Oregon and the state of Washington as yet another low pressure system moves in from the Pacific. Well, let's take a look at our forecast now, and we'll see that today will be sunny with a high of 38, northwest wind at 8 miles per hour. It'll be gusting up to 20 miles per hour this afternoon, so you want to make sure that you dress warmly as you go out during the afternoon hours. Tonight cloudy with a low of 18, winds will be calm. Friday sunny with a high of 41, winds will be light. Friday night partly cloudy with a low of 23 and a calm wind. Saturday sunny with a high of 48, winds will be southwest at 8 miles per hour. Saturday night partly cloudy with a low of 27. Sunday sunny with a high of 50. 27 degrees and cloudy Sunday night, and Monday will be cloudy with a high of 53 and a low of 36 as a chance of rain moves into the area Monday night. Our high yesterday 38, our low this morning 25. And that's a look at your Rocky Mount weather. Now back to you.
Thanks, Fred. And here with us now is WHIG-TV sports reporter Edward Green. Tell us what's in sports this week.
Well, schools are finally back in session, so we have some games coming up this week, and I finally got a chance to sit down with one of the coaches.
All right.
So, well, defending state champion Rocky Mount has already gotten off to a hard start this season, but one of its losses this year came in the Christmas Tournament Championship game to Northern Nash. Now, the Knights are 7-2 this season, but started off conference play this last Friday with a close loss to Wilson Hunt. I spoke this week with head coach Rick Ruffin about winning the tournament and his look on the season going forward. How important was it to win the tournament, not just for a matter of like area bragging rights, but for those teams in the tournament are in your conference?
Well, you know, 4 in our conference, and you know our conference is you better be ready to play every night. You're going to get in these type games every night, and unfortunately we had a same type of game against Hunt. We didn't escape that when we lost our first conference game by 2, and you know we just kind of had a letdown in the fourth quarter, and managed to we just didn't get out of getting a win in that one. But you know, it's one game. It's going to be a long season. We just got to regroup now. But you better be ready to play every night you line up in this conference. If you're not, somebody's going to get you.
Speaking of that,
championship game, you played Rocky Mount, the defending state champions. What was it like to beat them, not only beat them, but beat them on their own court?
Well, I think anytime you can win on the road, it's huge for your kids to know they can go on the road and win. And obviously we treated that as 2 road games, playing at Rocky Mount both nights, and we caught them on the second night. And we know it'll be a lot different next time, whether it's here or there. When you play that game, it's a rivalry, and you got to be ready. The kids get up for that game. I know Rocky Mount's kids do, our kids do, and it's always a war. So I'll expect the same thing next time when we play them again.
Moving forward now, you guys have had a lot of school closings and delays with the crazy weather, and now exams are coming up. How has it been trying to keep your team focused and prepared?
Well, it's a real difficult time. I mean, the thing is, you can't get any practice time. And we're coming off a very emotional loss last week, and I'm really concerned about that because we've got 2 1-hour practices with the schedule for exams, and 1 hour doesn't give you a lot of time to prepare your kids for the next game, and we're down to 2 days with hour practice each day. But everybody's in the same boat. I mean, so all the coaches are having to do the same thing. We just got to regroup and get our kids ready to play Friday night.
Looking forward to Friday night and beyond for the rest of your conference play, where do you see your team making improvements, and what do you see your team already doing well?
Well, last week, even a loss, you got to look at the positive. We did a lot of good things against Wilson Hunt. We just didn't handle some late game situations well in the last 3 or 4 minutes. And that's an area, even this time of year, you got to start working on finishing the game. You have to make free throws. You can't turn it over down at crunch time inside of 3 minutes, and that's what we just didn't do a good job of handling last week. So, we'll address those things, make it a point of emphasis, and we just got to get ready to play our next game.
Just to wrap up, where do you see this team going? What's the highest level you guys think you can get to?
Well, I mean, we're still a contender, to do well in this conference, and our kids' goal is to win the conference, even though we're 0-1. So, this next game against Southern Nash Friday night is going to show a lot about our character and how much we can regroup and going on a road game, and then we have to go on the road again next week to Nash Central. So we've got a big challenge ahead of us, and I'm anxious to see how our kids are going to respond, and I think they'll respond well.
Now the Knights travel to Southern Nash this Friday night to play the Firebirds in their 2nd conference game of the year. And Marie, it sounds like Coach Ruffin is trying and succeeding so far to replicate the success of the school's football team so far this season.
All right, well, we wish them good luck. We thank you, Edward, and thank you for tuning in to Newsbreak today. Join us next week as we continue to bring you news that's impacting our community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.